I'm Nick Jordan, and I'm the CEO and founder of Narrative.io. If you look at startups, from a logical point of view, they have no business succeeding. The amount of capital you have when you start a business, the competitive landscape that surely exists when you start a business, and probably most importantly is most humans are really driven by inertia. Getting people to see the world in a different way or to do something slightly differently is really, really hard, right? You're trying to change people's behavior, which is a very hard thing to do. And so I don't know if it's a surprise, but I'm still happy every time a customer tells us how much easier we're making their lives. It's definitely gratifying to hear that. I think when most people start a company and become an entrepreneur, they don't really know what they're getting themselves into. Entrepreneurship is heralded as this very exciting, very grandiose thing. In reality, it comes with a massive amount of responsibility. Now I have investors that have put a bunch of money into the company. I have got employees and their family. We have all the customers that rely on us to continue running their business. And so that responsibility has been humbling. Is something that I take very seriously. Reflecting on the early days of Narrative, I wouldn't, have a meal with my wife. We wouldn't text. I mean, it would literally be like I just would go into a black hole for 19 hours a day, 6 days a week, if not 7 days a week. And that was trying on a relationship. And so over time, I realized that while the business is very important, I can't have it envelop all of my life. And so, just simple things like blocking off an hour on my calendar to have dinner or to go for a walk or to just have a conversation has been, really important to us. You have more and more organizations that are trying to acquire data to feed their engines, and you have more companies that are trying to take the data they have and monetize it like they would any other asset. It's traditionally a space that's been filled by data brokers, which we don't think is a scalable model. And so we went to really building technology to give to both the buyers and sellers so they could work directly with each other and really preserve most of the value for themselves. I don't think I thought about category creation per se, but it was like, no one's doing this. Like, this is a green field, and I know how to solve a very large problem, and I'm just going to go do it. As CEO, sometimes people don't want to tell you that you've made a mistake or that something is wrong. There's this idea that if you're a founder of a company, that the company is your baby. I do not subscribe to that point of view at all. The company is the company, and I'm very passionate about the work that we're doing, and I very much want the company to succeed. But I don't take criticism of the company or of myself as personal. And so, in the same way that I'm a very much a straight shooter when it comes to working with the team, I expect them to do the same with me. And so, I'd like to think that I know that I've made a mistake because someone tells me I made a mistake if I haven't figured it out myself. I'd rather find out quicker that we're going down a wrong path, and then you just change the path that you're on. I've been in organizations before where they have this analysis paralysis where they don't want to make a decision until they're 100% sure it's the right decision. And so the decision takes a year to make. And in that time, they could have tried 15 different things and found the thing that actually worked and do the course correction. So mistakes aren't a bad thing in my mind. You actually learn a lot from mistakes. And if you do it right, they're not all that costly because you can see them pretty quickly. And if you force yourself to say, hey, there might be a better way to do this, or we need to move off of this, you get to a more ideal state very fast. For me, it's the challenge of every day, and it's always something different. Sometimes it's a product management thing. Sometimes it's a hiring challenge. Sometimes it's a board meeting that's coming up. I'm very fortunate to be where I am, and I don't take it for granted. And like I said, there's so much responsibility between our investors and our employees and their families and our customers that I really am excited to get up every day to run the business. There's not one high point, or one thing that I'm especially passionate about. It's to wake up and make narrative a better place to work, and a better experience for our customers. My favorite sports team is my college basketball team. I went to St. Bonaventure University, so the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. I've been eating these one protein bars. They say there's no sugar in them, but they taste way too good to not have any sugars. That's a good question. My wife is definitely a cat person. I'm probably neutral, so I'll go with cat. Well, I run in the morning, but I think that amps me up more than winds me down. I'm very much a lover of wine. And so a couple of glasses of wine at the end of the night is probably the best way for me to wind down. I'm on calls all day, so rarely. I did just buy a turntable, so maybe I'll be listening to some vinyl here in the not too distant future.